Going live briefly to test out our volume. We're just testing it. So don't mind me, I'm just going to sit here and ramble for a bit. Just going to talk. Ignore the sounds in the background. This coffee is delicious.
Are you on low latency?
No,
you're on normal.
I'm normal. I am on normal latency. Let me go to ultra low latency. That'll help. Going live briefly to test out our volume. That sounds good.
Yeah, that does sound good.
Alright, I'm gonna go back to...
Hold on.
Oh, alright.
There's me.
Ignore the sounds in the background. This coffee is delicious.
Are you on low latency?
No, you're on normal. I'm normal. I am a normal.
Yeah, let's go with that. That sounds good.
Alright, cool.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
See you in a bit. Well, welcome one and all to the greatest puzzle talk show. I'm your hostess with just enough qualifications to give you the mostest, Mike. I've got my beanie and my beard and I'm ready to rumble. With me, I have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Tone.
This isn't the cropped me.
This isn't the cropped you. You're also not, Mike.
I'm also
New
not
and
Mike.
improved!
Here we go. Now I'm me. All right.
What
so,
you saw was an evolution.
for the better. And yeah, we've got a great show. So, Mike, what do we got going on here today? Besides a lot of missed crops.
Besides a lot of missed crops, well,
Ah! Oh my God! Ah! Oh. Oh.
Tone likes to work on his acting here on the job. We've got a great list of topics today. We're going to check out some stuff that's been happening within the community, and we're going to kind of get into a business discussion around towards the end. We'd love to see the conversation be carried on in the chat room, so get involved.
I'm excited.
So, first topic, Veterans Day. Veterans escape for free at Escape Room Clearwater Beach. This past Monday was Veterans Day, and this was cool to me, mostly because I myself am a veteran. I served in the United States Air Force, and I know that like veterans with like PTSD and stuff like that, they need something to like stimulate their mind, and an escape room is a great way to do just that. How do you feel about that?
I give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up from the man himself.
I almost wish that I had thought of that. Next year we will definitely do that.
Or at least a discount or something. We offer veteran or military
We do
discount.
we do have military discounts, but
Is that a common thing in escape rooms, military discounts?
I don't know.
Because I don't see it like talked about very often or like mentioned.
I think it's just like most businesses have a military discount.
That's fair. I gotta be honest, when I was in uniform, I was never the type to like ask for it. I'm a very anxious person, so when I go to like the counter, I don't like asking for like discounts or like anything like that, so I'm just like, alright, yeah, no, whatever.
What was your role when you served?
I was a military police. You'd never believe it, but I was military police. See the look on his face, he doesn't believe it.
I'm trying to, no, actually, as goofy as this sounds, I'm trying to picture clean-shaven, shaved head.
You want it? I can pull it up right now.
Yeah, I want to see this.
All right.
I think the world does too.
I'm gonna pull it up for you guys. This is a picture of me and my father, retired now, but in the picture he is depicted as Technical Sergeant Eugene Parada. Hi, Dad.
And if anyone's wondering about my voice, I have a sinus infection, so I'm a little nasally.
It's more likely than you think. All right, I found it's on my old Facebook. I'm gonna show it to Tone first, so you're gonna see some camera tricks. You see the phone here? Whoop! Now it's there.
Wow.
Right? No one believes me when I tell them that, but then I pull out the picture and they're like, okay, all right.
Wow, this is a totally different mic.
Here, for your viewing pleasure. There I am. Oh, I'm bad at this. But there I am, kind of blurry. There's my dad. Hi, Dad. It's blurred out so he can't sue me. Ha!
Well, Mr. Parada, we thank you for your service.
You're welcome. I never know what the appropriate response to that is. I've never known. No one's ever told me. Listen, if you're in the military, you do basic training stuff. Here's a lesson. When someone thanks you for your service, what's the appropriate response? Do I say you're welcome? That sounds so pompous. Do I say thank you and then we get into the thank you war? No, thank you for thanking me. No, thank you for thanking me for thanking you. It's weird. It's awkward.
Claw, you're welcome.
So with that,
yeah, next year I think we will definitely do Veterans Play Free. I like that.
That's a good one. And I'm sure the veterans around the globe appreciate it. We're going to jump into our next topic. This is a shorter topic, this first one. This next one, I want to get your opinion on. The Suitcase Escape Game. I'm making it my personal goal this year, Tone, to make sure that every video, the escape rooms get weirder and weirder and weirder.
Wait a minute. The Suitcase Escape Game? Like...
He's going off screen, guys. I want to pull it up, but he's going off screen. Oh, God. We're going live.
Is that... this?
Not exactly the same.
It looks the same. Look at the brim.
No, but see, you got to get a closer look. Do you see all, like, the dials and stuff in there?
Yeah, they inserted shit in there. That's just, they opened it up and they put stuff inside.
Well, from the mind of Jason R., we have the Barm Disarming puzzle in a suitcase. This little suitcase has about 15 to 20 puzzles in it, and players have 60 minutes to solve all of them.
Do you know how many times the locks break on these, and that's why we don't use them?
Do you think they just I'm betting they probably like installed custom locks?
No, they didn't.
No?
Maybe like
I have
the
high hopes
puzzles
for
on the
people,
inside, but the box itself, these latches are what break.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, they're made like garbage. So yeah, locking storage chest by Vaults. Lock it up, you suck.
But you've heard it. You've heard it here. I think this game costs people about maybe like $10, $15 to play for the hour. So, how do you feel about it? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Would you play this game? Do you think you could beat it?
Sure, we'll give it a thumbs up.
Give it a thumbs up. Dude, he's feeling so generous this week. I don't know what it is.
It's the sinus infection.
It's the... Not being able to breathe really puts things into perspective for you, I take it.
15 to 20 puzzles, huh?
Imagine all that in an escape, like in a suitcase. And I'm looking at the picture that we have over here, and it looks like there's a bunch of like different papers and stuff off to the side, miscolored wires. There's a bunch of knobs and
Give
buttons.
us a bigger shot of that.
Sure, why not? Well,
I know you're capable. Yeah, there you go.
And we'll put that behind, and we'll take that there. So this is kind of what this looks like on the inside. You've got the many different dials. You got the kind of like switches right there, all buttons and stuff that
It's 100% the same box we have right here. I can see the top.
I was gonna argue that they don't have the dials at the bottom, but I'm looking closer.
Yep,
and
they do.
They have the dials.
Yep. So yeah, they filled it with some Arduino tech.
Did you come prepared? Did you peek at my notes?
Nope.
The box is dusty. I'm inclined to believe him.
And no, we have like 2 or 3 of those vault boxes in the back because they never worked. They kept breaking.
Oh. Well, look off to the side here. You've got like a couple of different ciphers.
Yep.
Different
Yeah,
word
it's
puzzles.
very much like a tabletop board game, escape room game, which is fine. Fun for all.
I'm a huge fan of tabletop games anyway. Just with like I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. I've talked about that like on the stream before. So this stuff speaks to me. I would play the hell out of that. Probably it might hold some replay value even.
Maybe. If you're watching, would you play it? Comment below. Let us know.
We miss you guys in the conversation. Join us. On to the next topic. Change difficulties in real time. Last week we got to talk about Escape the Game due to their new location in New York City. We got to watch a couple of their trailers, and they have popped up in the news again recently. We found out that Ruins, the game trailer, we found out that Ruins, the trailer that we reviewed, is actually in Nashville.
Yes. Yeah.
We're pretty sad about that because we were going to drive to New York literally that day and go play this freaking game. But they've got 5 rooms in New York, and all of them have varying difficulties. If you're looking for an easier experience, you simply tell them beforehand, and the clues will be far less vague than the usual ones given. So this is kind of like real time. They change difficulty for you in the game to help you solve it. How do you feel about that? Is that just kind of... To me, that sounds like standard escape room fare, but I wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
So do we. It's called Give Them More Hints.
That's all?
That's all you... I mean, that's... I don't know. Argue me. What else does it mean? You could change difficulties of puzzles inside the game, and you can do that with certain forms of technology. But at the end of the day, I don't know. It's...
It is a little silly, isn't it?
It's a little silly.
I saw the headline.
It's so silly.
I saw the headline for it, right? And I saw that it was the same company that we had talked about last week. And I'm already excited about their stuff. I've been wanting to check it out. So when I saw...
I'm excited about the game in Nashville. I'm not excited about what was in New York.
Some of the ones that they have in New York look pretty cool. I wish they would bring the ruins to New York. The playground one looked really fun. I would do the playground. They have a playground-themed escape room. I know. Listen, I am a giant man-child, and I want to climb a jungle. Yeah, all right. There it is. There's the thumbs down. I got two. I got two
as well.
That was, to clarify, that was for me. Not Escape the Game NYC. Unless you plan on never removing ruins from Nashville closer to here. Let me tell you, business trips to New York are a lot cheaper than business trips to Nashville. But yeah, no, I saw the headline, and it said, real-time difficulty change. So in my head, I'm like, do they go in there and they change the puzzles? You know, do they go in there and they, like, remove elements of the game? And then I was like, no, we just give them less fake clues.
There are a few different ways with technologically based puzzles where you can change the modes. Literally with a click of a button. We could have done it in Freak Show. We chose not to.
No. Hot take. I've never even heard this before.
It would have been more programming. But essentially, like, for example, let me think of what would be a good example here. Basically, with most of the puzzles in an escape room, your objectives are going to be to open something, right? So you can pre-program your device or your puzzle to have multiple puzzles inside it, some easier, some more difficult than others. So you could have like your easy mode where the game is pre-programmed with much easier puzzles in all of those areas, and those are what's presented. And this will typically work when it's something where the interface is just like 4 buttons, or, you know, because like you can have multiple answers put into the same program. It all comes down to computer programming. It's not that crazy difficult. It's just a question of, is it justified to do it for the value of the gameplay change? We're kind of living in a world right now where, and I'm sure this will get some hate, but everyone feels the need to win everything.
Participation trophies are very popular. Yes.
Yeah, very, very popular.
I can agree with you.
Which is what brought us to compete versus play for fun mode.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately now we're considering eliminating compete mode. Because the amount of teams that want to compete versus get everything handed to them is so marginal now.
For the viewers at home that may be unsure, we at Trapdoor Escape Room offer 2 modes of play for all of our games. Play for fun, which you get all the hints you want. Ask for a hint, we'll give you a hint. And compete mode, which means you only get 3 hints and a shot to be on our leaderboard. Those leaderboard spots, when I mention the leaderboards to people, they get pretty excited about it.
They do, but you know, here's the problem with play for fun, and it's leading us to start even looking at our times. For example, like, do you even market QRZ and Freak Show as a 2-hour experience under play for fun? Because if you're delivering hints at the rates that some of these teams want, they'll be out of there in 60 minutes.
100%. Because it's not all escapers. It's definitely not all escapers.
No, but it's becoming majority.
It's a lot of them. They come in and it's a lot of new people too. Because the escape room craze it's still, you're getting new people trying escape rooms every single day.
Also, for any owners that are watching the show, please comment and share your opinions on this, because we're seeing major demographic shifts where everyone used to be like 30 to 45-year-olds out for a night out. Now it's becoming parents with their kids.
100%. I actually saw something
because
recently.
Like 10-year-olds all want to play these now.
I saw something very recently in the news, and I'm upset that I didn't get it in time to put it on this episode of Puzzle Talk. We can talk about it, though, because it's relevant to what we're talking about now. LEGO is opening up a couple of escape rooms around the United States, or now around the planet possibly, that are themed for kids ages 5 to 10.
Well, there you go.
Still an escape room, but like you're right, it's affecting the demographic. I think when we get phone calls hear more often than not nowadays, especially, is people asking me, "Is your escape room appropriate for my son or my daughter?"
Who's 8?
Who is 8
Yeah.
or 9 years old?
Yep.
Exactly.
And as a result, and this has really been a 1-year shift in the industry, at least on the East Coast. But overprotective mom wants her kid to win everything.
Of course. They want to feel like they spent their money, wisely. They didn't just waste their money.
We had a group recently where I clocked it because I was starting to get a little frustrated, where the mom came out of the game and was like, "So, do you guys even give clues here? Because it's been a while and they are struggling." And I literally looked at my timer and I said, "You just got a clue 3 minutes and 11 seconds ago."
Tell me, did she argue or did she walk away from that?
She basically kind of was like, and walked away. And then, 30 seconds later, shouted out, "Do your job." And it was like, "Oh, okay, I guess we're handing you this game on a platter." So there's kind of this, at least that we're seeing, and we're very high volume, so we are seeing a lot of people, that there's almost now the people who want to play and the people who want to watch.
I do have a lot of customers ask if they can come behind, the game station.
I don't even mean watch like that. I mean, participatory passive.
Oh, you're right. People love just checking out the sets.
Yeah.
It's almost as if it's a guided movie tour.
Yeah.
We're at Hollywood Studios or something.
Guide me through the adventure. I don't want to solve anything. I just want to see what the puzzle was and then tell me the answer and I'll move on.
My favorite part about an escape room...
It's not fun being frustrated and struggling. Okay, but that's the game.
It is the game, and that's not exactly where the fun comes in. And I still play different escape rooms. I genuinely enjoy escape rooms because I love solving puzzles. The fun comes in when you're struggling for maybe 5 or 10 minutes to solve a puzzle, and then finally it clicks, you solve the puzzle, you have what we call that eureka moment.
Yeah.
And it's that you get that dopamine rush to your brain.
100%. Endorphins and hormone release and the whole deal. And that's what I love about it. But at the end of the day, our job is to entertain. And my wife and I had a conversation the other day because we're talking about this business venture that we're embarking on together of a completely different industry, but it's relatable to her home care agency and us with Trapdoor. It's kind of a combo almost. And my voice is really going. Damn it.
It's starting, yeah.
And what we were talking about was, when you're dead, what's one word that people would use to describe you and what you brought to the world? And
Funny.
for hers, it was caregiver.
Okay.
And for me, it was entertainer. And, at the end of the day, this is about people are paying an exceptional amount of money. We're one of the most expensive escape rooms in the world. So we do need to deliver on that value. And if that means letting people just get a showcase version guide of the game, that's what it means.
Now we did.
It's not about me, it's about them.
Well, of course, it's at the end of the day, it's about the customer.
Yeah.
The customer's always right. We are. I'm not going to say that. A little too lowbrow. So we kind of offered the guided tour thing
For puzzles and kids.
for puzzles and kids. Yeah, that's already a thing that we have. Are you thinking about kind of maybe we could do guided tours for adults now? You want to take notes from one of the Hollywood Studios sets? I was on the set of Twister. That was really cool.
Maybe.
Bring back
Maybe.
F5 as a guided tour.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, as this industry keeps evolving, it's becoming new things. So, at the end of the day, I just want the customers to leave happy.
It's all it's really about is making an impression. And
Whatever that means.
Well, speaking of impressions, this next one is going to leave an impression on you. How about real gold and silver rewards?
What?
cash prizes are great incentives for many, many things. Maybe the company you work for offers a bonus for the amount of sales you get. I did the eyebrow wiggle and now I lost my spot. Or you could win $1 million by winning a game show. But how about $100,000 in gold and silver pieces for solving riddles?
Who's doing this?
Houston, Texas. In Houston, Texas, on December 7th, there will be a treasure hunt complete with a map and clues for 21 riddles. First person to solve all 21 riddles will find a treasure chest full of gold and silver coins, totaling out to be $100,000. The standard map, you buy this online. There's a website. The standard map is $29, but then you can also buy an upgraded map with extra clues for $49.
That's a gamble.
That is a gamble. Would you do it?
That is a gamble. It's not a gamble on the players, it's a gamble on the company.
You want to go ahead and explain that? Because that's a gamble for me. If I spend $49 and I lose it trying to get 100, that's a gamble for me. But how's that a gamble for the company?
Because what if 10 people sign up?
What if?
You didn't make any freaking money and you got to dish out $100K.
Ah, okay.
If you don't think for a single second that they're not paying out that $100K based off ticket sales.
I think $100,000 in gold and silver. I mean, you take away the gold and silver, you put $100,000 on the table. That's going to draw some attention.
Sure.
I mean, $29 doesn't seem like. I mean, and then of course there's also like the. You can have $29 for a regular map, but then you have $49 for like an upgraded map with extra clues. That's kind of like, sweetening the deal a little bit. Huge gamble, but I think it's a gamble that's like going to pay off. Honestly, I'd sign up for it.
Maybe. I mean, when we did Find Me on streaming, we did $1,000 to whoever found Dennis Morgan first. And we ended up with a little over 1,000 people playing. Is that proportionate? Probably not. But I don't know. That's terrifying. I would be very afraid of, like I said, even if 1,000 people participated.
That's not going to total out. I mean, it would total out probably. I'm bad at math. Now that you put it in that perspective, I can see kind of like the fear. Like, you're putting a lot on the table, especially in like, first of all, where do you find gold and silver pieces anymore? Did you guys... Houston is landlocked, so my question was going to be, did they rob a freaking pirate ship? But
you could potentially... It can be represented. It doesn't necessarily have to really be real gold.
In the article, it said gold and silver.
Yeah, but it could be value of.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, how much is the map?
So, like I said, the map, standard map, just the regular map, costs $29. But then there's the upgraded map with extra clues for $49. So
they need at least 3,333 participants just to break even on the gold. Not even the labor of setting the game up.
I still would totally do it. 100%. As a participant, I would buy that map and I would find that gold and I would cash in on it. 100%. But that is that. So, you're kind of on the middle thumb, I take that then.
Hey, if they could pull that off, I give that a double thumbs up. Great publicity stunt, great marketing. They're going to need people outside of Houston to participate, though.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people from Texas will probably drive through. I mean, when you put a cash prize on the table, people will travel for it.
Sure.
But with that, we're going to go ahead and hop into our next topic, which is fairy tale escape rooms featured at Once Upon an Escape Room. I had some text there, but the text decided it didn't want to hang out with us anymore. An escape room in Las Vegas has taken a fairy tale turn on escape rooms by bringing up Once Upon an Escape, with several rooms already available, such as Seven Dwarfs, Arabian Nights, and Rumpelstiltskin, and more to come, like Neverland. With the release of Disney Plus and the mass of people all over the globe experiencing different fairy tales. I thought this might be a cool room to talk briefly, while also pointing out their approach to opening fairy tale themed rooms, which is kind of a good approach, as it's not blatant ripoffs, but like Disney does own a lot of these kind of like fairy tales, like Arabian Nights.
Well, first and foremost, round of applause to the staff at Disney Plus.
It's a round of applause.
Over 10 million subscribers opening day. That's amazing.
And server issues out the ass.
It wasn't out the ass.
It was pretty intense for a little while. I mean, I will give it to them. They fixed it quick. I think I was maybe down for like in half an hour trying to watch Gravity Falls before it fixed itself.
Let me put this in a different perspective. Healthcare.gov still works like garbage. Disney Plus is fully functional now.
Okay. In that perspective, I see where you're coming from.
And you can't relate it to any other monthly subscription streaming service because Netflix has been around over a decade now.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they
definitely.
had a very gradual build to get to their 150 million subscribers. Disney Plus is in number 2 right now for subscriptions.
And I think they've been out for like a week, maybe.
And they've been out for... They were at number 2 on opening day.
Yeah.
They beat every other subscription other than Netflix. Day one.
I bought my subscription like that day.
Jess and I had pre-ordered ours well in advance because, 2-year-old daughter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a no-brainer, especially I delved into the vault. Like, the first thing we did was, like, I checked out all the old movies, and I watched Sleeping Beauty for the first time.
We did opening day, too.
That's hilarious.
We watched Sleeping Beauty, we watched Lady and the Tramp, we watched the original Dumbo, because my daughter loves the new Dumbo. So
that's the one I needed to watch, is I need to watch the new Dumbo, and I also need to watch the new Lady and the Tramp.
The new Dumbo is really boring.
From what I hear, yeah, but I still gotta watch it,
They could have cut like 20 minutes from that movie and made it better.
Isn't it that like the original Dumbo is only like an hour long?
The original Dumbo is like 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes, and they tried to turn that into like a 2-hour movie.
Yeah. It had everything going for it for a recipe for success. I mean, you've got Tim Burton back with Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito. The last time they all worked together was Batman Returns.
Killer movie.
So right there, they had me. But added Colin Farrell, who for some reason is box office poison, but I think is very talented. Colin Farrell was actually cast as Batman once.
Did it go through as a whole movie?
No.
I was going to say, what are you talking about?
After the devastation that was Batman and Robin with George Clooney, Warner Brothers had shopped several Batman movies. One of which was Batman vs. Superman. Well before Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill. And if you ever watch I Am Legend, there's a billboard for it in Times Square. Because they were trying to cross...
I actually watched that movie not too
long
ago, just on a movie night. So now I'm trying to I'm thinking of all the scenes in my head, like Batman vs. Superman. Now it's sounding familiar, but I'm also just thinking of the Affleck.
Colin Farrell was cast as Batman. Josh Hartnett was in the running for Superman, but it ended up going to Jude Law. He looks like an alien.
I can kind of see it.
They were going off the premise more that, he didn't have to be massive because he was an alien.
That's fair.
And the movie got scrapped, and eventually we got Chris Nolan's Batman Begins.
See, I didn't even know that was in the works, that long ago. So that's really cool.
Lex Luthor was going to clone the Joker, and it was a whole big storyline. It was.
Isn't that a thing in the comics where the Joker gets cloned?
I don't think so.
I mean, there are definitely a ton of weird Joker spin-offs.
Anyway,
we've kind of strayed away from the topic a little bit.
Away.
So the thing about this is that there's a bunch of different fairy tale themed rooms, and I'm going to go over some of the different themes that they have out right now that could possibly cause a bit of a stir-up since these guys are gaining a bit of popularity and Disney Plus is on the rise, so everything right now is Disney. Seven Dwarfs, Arabian Nights, and Rumpelstiltskin. They have Neverland that's going to be coming out. I think they also have like an Alice in Wonderland themed one.
Well, here's the thing. Most of those original Disney fairy tales are not Disney fairy tales.
Right. No, a lot of them come from different areas of mythology and whatnot.
Yeah, there's they pulled a lot of that stuff. Walt Disney's first films were actually in the world of Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
He didn't return to it with the animated Alice in Wonderland for years, but he had originally done live-action Alice movies where it was a real girl against animated sets.
Okay.
And I think they were silent. They were they were really bad and they were a mess, but they were revolutionary. Ultimately, he, I think, lost rights to distribution on those, and then they came back to it much later. But it was yet another fairy tale that was kind of open domain.
So all of these fairy tales that you think here they have open domain on, as long as
Probably.
they're not using like names or likenesses, they should be okay.
Yeah. No different than when like your local art house does a fairy tale, theater show.
That's fair. It's always
It's not Disney's Seven Dwarfs.
That's fair.
It's the original fairy tale of the Seven Dwarfs.
Right. I figure since these guys were making a profit and things can get... You hear those phones, guys? That's how busy we are. Book an appointment now.
Sales and Reservations is homesick today, so...
Disney has been known to not be shy to make sure their likeness or any of the content that they've created.
Oh, sure. You step over that line, you're done. But, it's
I would
easy
be the
to
guy
not
to
step over that line.
See, I would be the guy to be nervous and want to tiptoe away from that line as far away as possible, just because it freaks me out, knowing how easily that it could be done. But yeah, so that's that. Once Upon an Escape is available in Vegas. Lots of room to play there. And if you're a fan of fairy tales, you're a fan of this. We're gonna move on now to our last topic. This was in a Facebook post, and look at me go. I lost the Facebook post. Never mind, I found it. In one of the escape room business startup Facebook pages that we often follow, someone has regarded to escape rooms as, well, if there was an image to describe it, no less than 5 different posts about escape rooms closing or owners selling have been posted, and here's how he is beginning to see the industry. He's had one about 4 years in January. He thinks he's got about 1 more year left in him. So, Tone, you're the one that brought this topic to my attention.
This topic made me really sad.
So, what do you think is the future here?
Well, for one, I'm a huge fan of the person that originated that post. I met him at the Room Escape conference. He is a wonderful man with tons of integrity, and this was a great endeavor for him. He faced some really serious hardships with a hurricane that wiped his facility out.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back from it. So to see that post was really upsetting. Now, on the same token, I had commented in that post that I can understand the fatigue. At the end of the day, he's not losing money. We're not losing money. Matter of fact, for example, with Trapdoor, year over year, we have earned more money. And some years, considerably more money. The last 2 have been marginally more money. Wow, my voice is really going to hell.
Good thing this is the last topic. We won't make it straight it too much farther after this.
But, there's a point where everything we're doing starts feeling very rinse, wash, repeat. we were just talking earlier about how my wife and I are kind of venturing out onto this new business concept. And it's because I kind of need a break from this.
I mean, has it controlled your life for, the past 10 years now?
Yeah, and directly for 5.
Mm-hmm.
But, the 5 prior, I had a full-time job, plus was doing other stuff. So it was a little different. But yeah, a decade in, I'm a little worn out on puzzles. So I still love creating. I love creating the sets. I love creating the stories and the worlds that we're playing in. But puzzle design, like the puzzle fatigue, is definitely a thing. And puzzles have never really been our biggest strong point.
We have been known to be referred to as immersive theater.
Yeah. Which is why I think there's always been such a love-hate relationship with customers and Trapdoor, because we're so storytelling focused that you either enjoy the story or you don't. Just like any other movie or TV show. So I get it. If your entire career is focused on strictly escape room puzzles, I understand being like, it's time to call it. I've been there, I've done it, I want to move on. I get it.
So from the picture, it looks like he's describing escape room, the industry itself, as a sinking ship. He pointed out that 5 owners had,
a lot of companies are closing.
Is it strictly because of fatigue, or is the business model itself just going downhill? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a little bit of both. David and Lisa from Room Escape Artists had talked in the past about how once leases start going up on facilities, that people aren't going to renew, because the reality that one theme can't last forever,
right,
is eventually going to set in.
People have to start redesigning rooms,
and the cost to do that outweighs what you're bringing in off of your existing rooms, because it needs to be bigger and better. The industry is not where it was 4 years ago.
Right.
So even for us, we're facing down probably a $200,000 build on Beast Caves. That's a far cry from the $20,000 that we spent on Cure Z when it was a 1-hour game in Red Bank back in 2016.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. I understand why people would want to run away.
Does this make you fear for the future of Trapdoor? Off the hook today, folks.
Obviously not. No, it doesn't make... My position's totally different. Trapdoor is fully functional, and it's... I think especially in the last quarter of 2019, it's starting to run like clockwork.
Day-to-day operations at each location seem to kind of flow pretty fluidly, whether you're present there or not that day, depending.
So that allows me to start focusing on new endeavors, which keeps me excited.
Mm-hmm.
And when the moment comes to start designing Beast Caves, I'm excited. I can't wait to jump right into that. But I don't want to watch Beast Caves. I don't want to, answer the phone 30 times a day. That's the stuff that, I'm not... and I don't want to struggle with coming up with 30 puzzles for Beast Caves.
Right.
I'd rather trust that to people excited to do it.
Understandably so. I mean, if you're excited about it, it shows in the finished product.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I think 2020 is going to see me transfer a little more from, or transition more from, an employee of Trapdoor to the owner of Trapdoor. So that I can be the employee of something new.
Understandably so. And you have heard it here first, folks. His hot take on what escape rooms are going to be. So, final question. Next 5 years into the future, you think escape rooms are still going to be big or relevant?
I don't know. I think there will be less of them. Undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly, yes. You have many people that do like quick startup businesses to see if they can hop into it.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
I think half the problem with the whole everyone jumping off the sinking ship is that half of those people didn't know what they were getting into.
Mm-hmm. And now you have the experienced people who kind of are in the game, they know what they're doing, and the other people who realize that it's not for them, they're packing up, taking their profits, and leaving.
Yeah. And taking those profits, and they'll go do something else with them. So I think there'll be a lot less, but I think the ones that are there will probably be better. And I think their definition will be changed. For example, 60 minutes to solve puzzles and escape a room, I think will be gone.
Do you think it's either going to be like longer or shorter, somewhere along the lines? I mean, we're definitely doing longer. All of our games were almost 2 hours long.
I think it needs to transition into a theme park.
Trapdoor theme park?
You know I don't answer those questions. But if you think about it, you're spending all the money to build these elaborate themes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with them when you've exhausted the market on them?
That's true. Do you just scrap all the parts that you've built, or do you use it for other games, or all the ideas that you've come up with? Do they just get put in a filing cabinet?
There's multiple theories. There's sell it. Mm-hmm. There's change territory. There's there's a handful of different ways to go. It's going to be a matter of, out of those different unique ways to go, what ends up being the most profitable way to go. I have my thoughts on that, but I'm not willing to disclose those thoughts.
Well, you heard it here first, and that concludes this week's episode of Puzzle Talk. Tone's voice is getting progressively worse, so we're going to go let him take a lozenge.
I'm going to go be a zombie.
We've enjoyed having you here, as we do every Monday. We hope to see you again next week. Keep the conversation alive in the chat room, and make sure to book your next Trapdoor experience at trapdoorescaperoom.com. Peace out.
Peace out.